he has to pay more respect to a big, tall marking option. I think it's a bit of a formula they're trying to work through for Fletcher at the moment.
Umpire to get it underway. Simon Meredith puts it on the turf. Griffin and Hill clash in the middle. Crowley got the clearance. Banged it on the boots to half-forward. Pavlich. Good mark within his range.
What a great start. We just mentioned those contested marks last week or 2 weeks ago against the Tigers. 3 of them, 6 goals, 9 in his last 2. This will be a dream start. Crowley started on Watson in the middle. Stanton was forward. Mazungu was going to him.
Pavlich just removing the shorts. So got caught up there, and here he is directly in front. We'll have to kick at 55. We're right behind him, riding this one home. Looks damn good. It is Pavlich and Fremantle. Great start. Crowd of purple, just get going, Das.
Oh, what a great start for the Dockers. He's in great form, and what an asset it is. When he gets hold of the footy anywhere inside 60, you know distance is going to be an issue. Such a beautiful kick. Great confidence, big frame in front. Richo couldn't have been a better start for the Dockers.
Yeah, 6-1 in his last outing, and if he gets a shot inside 50, he is a beautiful kick. It's one of the most fluent kicking actions you'll see, but this is the big thing for me, getting back to some contested marking. Matthew Pavlich, he's been playing more midfield, hasn't been doing it a lot this season. That's a great start.
Matthew Pavlich, the superstar, as I said, game 265 for him. Sorry, 268 for him. A magnificent player, back in the middle. Hill back in the side for the Bombers. Bell-Chambers strangely left out of this side. Talk about that a little later on. Jetta, handball over the top, got it out hocking. Dempsey was just trying to spend it before he'd actually won it. McPhee worries him out of it. In there is Main. Watson. Nice handball, finding some space. Good opportunity here. Hibberd inside, mark taken by Hurley on the lead.
I love the way that Hibberd took the space that was available there. He really sliced his way through some traffic and just opened up and demanded that Hurley lead into that spot. It was brilliant. Look at this. Saw a bit of a gap and ran through 3 or 4 Dockers, and Hurley had no choice but to come at him. Great start, and he needs a goal too for his confidence as well.
It was great that he kept his eyes down. He lowered his eyes, he didn't blaze away, and he saw Hurley leading straight up the middle.
1 goal 5 since returning in round 8, Michael Hurley, but this one adds to the goal tally.
A big start for Michael Hurley also. He's been a little bit out of form of recent weeks. What he does is really, really good, but just hasn't been getting his hands on the footy enough. So, terrific start for Michael Hurley.
I think we're unanimous in our respect and admiration for what this man can do as a game-breaking player. Just hasn't quite been able to get the job done in the last few weeks. BT pointed out 1 goal 5. Perfect start tonight, though, for Hurley.
In the middle of the ground we go. Opportunity here for the Bombers to clear it. De Boer is angry, and so is Mundy. They lock it in.
I like De Boer around the footy, which shows a really powerful, nuggety, low centre of gravity player. Probably had his best game ever last up against Richmond.
Had 13 tackles last week. If you've got a midfielder doing that hard work as well, and he got plenty of the footy. Good signs for Fremantle.
Howlett on Mundy, wearing him like a glove as well. At the back door, Dempsey, Heppel and Jetta. Back to Dempsey on the wing, can run it. Like it in the hands of Jetta. That's a risky one. Put Heppel under enormous pressure. Turnover complete there. Ibbotson involved. Couldn't handle it. That's a high tackle on McFarlane.
It's a big duck of the head from Luke McFarlane. I reckon he got away with one there. The umpire, it was high contact, but my initial instinct was that when you crouch down, you give away that opportunity.
You still have to tackle them correctly, even if they do attempt to duck. You are allowed to duck in our game, Das, as you would have well known, because you're a bit of a ducky yourself, aren't you?
From time to time.
Just joking. Ball goes forward. Mark taken by Jakey Carlisle. He's out of the Calder Cannons outfit, and they prepare them for the big time there. Hibberd, short little ball to Stanton.
And there's Mazungu on the mark. Stanton started at half forward. Mazungu's definitely tagging him, so a couple of tags for the Dockers.
Stanton goes looking for Crammery. Strong hands in front of Johnson. A little bit too far out for him, though, I reckon.
Hasn't kicked a goal in his last 2 outings. Stewie Crammery, we know how well he started the year.
He was very good prior to that, wasn't he? Sends this one high to the square. They set themselves for the market. They fly. Ryder almost had it. Hill's got it. Look at the 5 Fremantle players attacked him all at once. It was good stuff. But Monfries ends up with it. Now, he is a right to left bender of the ball. He has a little bit of a hook about his kicking.
Well, there's the duck as he took possession. Now, you are allowed to duck, but my understanding is then you give away the right for a free kick. But
slipping over Darst. Gee, you're a hard man.
harsh but fair.
Monfries, 45 metres out. Kick on the way. Little left. Got it. A goal up the Bombers.
Good forward pressure there for the Bombers, and they'll enjoy the fact that they were able to turn the footy over. Monfries, the beneficiary, found himself in the right spot. A great presence on a football field is Joe Watson. 90 centimetres Joe Watson stands. It's just
taller than you think, isn't he?
Incredible.
Oh yeah, Angus Monfries enjoyed that one, and the Bombers consecutive goals here to lead it by a goal. Angus Monfries back in the middle. Jordan Bannister, the umpire out there. He has been umpiring fantastically this year, the former Essendon player. I wonder how he'll feel about umpiring his old mob out here. Here's Pavlich, was being held. The umpire wanted nothing of it, fed it out. Barlow, who's been in some good recent form as well. The hands by young Crozier. Got it to De Boer. He's tackled to the ground there by Cramery. Ball spills loose. They go forward, Fremantle momentarily. But in the end, it'll be whipped away here by Reimers. He goes wide, Ryder.
Looking strong in the air early. Ryder, Cramery and Hurley have all had a mark. There's Hurley again, so the forwards have started well.
Goes wide, looking for Hill. He took his eyes off the ball, and in the corner, Stanton did the old duck around the back and didn't quite work for him.
Michael Hurley just put his hand up there and apologised to David Hill, but David Hill led into a spot in the ground where it was impossible to kick the footy. He's just come back into the side. You've got to get your running patterns back. He needed to double back and get into the dangerous spot, and Hurley could have put it in the right area for him.
Ryder trying to reach over the back. Watson got a piece of danger here for the Doctor. Clever knock on by Jenner. Around the corner, Monfries likes these. Needs to bend it. He's got it. 3 in a row for the Bombers.
What about Joe Watson? Just his strength, capacity to push hard through the stoppage there. And set up little Gussie Monfries. Good start for him. Couple early into the first term. Good contested game, this one already.
Well, that's just classic Joe Watson. Getting the ball out of a tight situation. Smart play by Jetta to knock it onto Monfries. And they've started well, the Bombers, but Fremantle, this is a real problem for them. They've only won 2 first quarters this year, and they're getting overrun early.
Gee, it was good play by Jetta, wasn't it? That deft little tap. Bombers go forward again, off hands, beautifully rowed to Olio, to 50, lines it up to make it 4 in a row. Misses for the Bomber, and Jenner says to him, come on, I was on.
Brilliant contest from Cramery. Brilliant front and centre from Dolio. It's perfect play. It's all you want from your forward. Just the finish wasn't quite there.
Look at that. Now you're kicking into that, Darsh, and you've got to find someone there. It's a brave man to kick it in amongst that, isn't it?
Not an easy job, is it?
They almost did a little bit of a huddle there, Darsh, I reckon, the Dockers.
Great pitches there as Barlow flies. Mundy's caught with the ball. He could do little to get rid of it. In the end, he was able to tunnel ball it out. In goes to Olio. Rowley and Barlow make sure he proceeds no further.
This is what Essendon has been able to do so well all year. They're #1 in the comp for time in their forward half of the ground, plus 9 minutes 38, which is a massive stat. They just want to lock the ball in their forward half of the ground, great pressure, and score off the back of it.
Ryder knocked down. In amongst it there is Myers. There's Mundy, really important to the form of the Fremantle Dockers. Pavlich flies. Lingy, you've had a bit of a chance to have a look at the matchups down there. The boys up here have had their say. What do you think of them so far?
Oh, I don't mind. I still see Joe Watson as being the most important midfielder at Essendon. He's just so good. I think Crowley needs to get on top of him. He can't be feeding the ball out to the Essendon runners. Brett Stanton, as you boys have mentioned, is very dangerous on the outside, but Watson's the man who feeds them constantly.
Free kick will go Fremantle's way here.
Well, they just need to steady and get their hands on the footy for a... Well, that's not the way to do it.
Lower, miss kick, gobbled up by Remus to Jeddah. He's got an outside runner in Stanton, but Stanton didn't keep going. McPhee was blocking, kick is wide to Hurley. Too far out to score for Hurley. Goes into the pocket, Cramery, good hands. Beats Silvani to the ball, and I think Ross may be thinking about making a change there.
Yeah, the term coach killer comes to mind with those ones, 10-metre passes across the face of goal that are turned over. We just saw Michael Hurley. I love the way that he moves the footy on. Great turnaround. His kick to Cramery was beautiful.
There's our Toyota Fango question. Can Cramery and Hurley get back on the scoreboard tonight? Well, they've started beautifully.
Well, Hurley has, and here's the second part of it, Richo. Cramery just sprays it across and backed out of bounds on the full and hit the top of the behind post.
Well, I think this thing with Hurley is we all love what we see from him. He'll take a big mark. He'll lay a big bump, but just haven't seen enough of it. Already 3 marks on the lead tonight. His work rate's up. He's sitting up with the football. And you're going to have a good night as a forward if you keep presenting like that.
I think you made a really good point here about Essendon's capacity to lock the footy inside their forward half of the ground. It's relevant every time you play, but particularly at Subiaco, with such big space. If you're able to keep it here, and so far, there you go, time in the forward half of the ground. It's just absolute domination there for the Bombers.
Freo have lost 3 of the last 4 games they've played at this home venue, so it hasn't been exactly a fortress in recent time for them like it has been the Eagles. There's Main, thought about Pavlich, knew he was closely monitored. Crowley's kick needs to be perfection, and it is. Magnificent little mark taken by Hayden Crozier. I've got something to tell you about this young man later on in the game. I've got a few little bits on him, found out a bit of info on him. Want to see him get the ball a little bit more. Pavlich one out, Main off hands. Did well to bust them open there, Hardingham. The boy from Cogen up here in Western Australia. Picked up in the end, flying shot at goal by Crichton, I think it was. And across the face for a minor.
Boys, just quickly, David Mundy getting a little bit of work on the bench for the Fremantle Dockers on his lower right leg, and we know he missed quite a bit of last season with a leg injury. He looks fine, he's walking okay with a little bit of a limp, but he's getting a bit of attention from the doctors, so I'll keep an eye on that one for you guys.
Nice work, Lingy. The old man Fletcher kicks out wide. Zach Clark into the side. Sandilands out, injured indefinitely. Little ball by Howlett, coming a long way up Hurley. Monfries looking very, very good early in the game here as well. Searching forward, looking for Remus. He's got the standard white boots on today, Remus. Matty Lloyd, when he was there, didn't want him to wear coloured boots and put an end to it, and Kyle was very disappointed.
Was it Matty Lloyd or was it James Hird?
It might have been James Hird, actually.
I don't think Hird, he liked the coloured football boots.
Well, he was the purple-booted man there for a while. It was Kyle Remus, and just had to straighten his mind up a bit. There's Hill. Crichton in there, tagged off the ball. Clark got it forward. Down low was Broughton, went hard, got it, superb play. Out of the loop, Fremantle, bang open forward line. Pavlich the race back with Hooker. Pavlich and Hooker going at it. Can he turn him around again? Pavlich, Hooker, Pavlich. The troops arrive. Pav did well, got it to Main. And now Fletcher's got to deal with him as well. Good play in the end. The pressure. Barlow could have gone to the left. And Main will run to the open goal. Well done, Matthew Pavlich.
Oh, that was good persistence by the Fremantle Dockers. Matthew Pavlich running back into an open goal, and an uncharacteristic fumble. It was good pressure by Hooker, but they stuck at their task and end up getting an easy goal. Chris Main, he's good for a goal a week at the moment. Seems to be able to get on the scoreboard every week consistently.
Broughton sliding in hard and under. It was a brilliant contest as the kick came in. Like the look of this young man already, Hayden Crozier. Pavlich gets back. He had a half a fumble, but brilliant the way he kept his feet, kept the ball moving, made sure that the contest was there, slid back in and was able to set up the goal for Mundy.
Crowley Mzungu there. Fancy Pierce. Through, bang. Carlisle had the feet taken from under him. Then a real good old hip and shoulder from Broughton. Shaky Carlisle just about split in half. Have a look at this. Bang. Got him. Nicely done for the Dockers, who look switched on to me, Das.
Yeah, both sides do. Really hard contest to win at the moment. You can see the pressure around the footy. Both sides have come really understanding how big this one is tonight.
Gee, they're hitting up at the football hard, the Essendon forwards. It opens up space behind, but can't bomb it in.
Gee, had to stand, and Wade Ibbotson did it bravely. Now Subin from half back to half forward. Pavlich causing trouble up there already. He's got a runner inside. Crowley decides to shepherd. Thought about the handball. Watson had him covered, and he had no other helpers there, Pavlich.
Gee, it's a fast game, isn't it? It's just end-to-end stuff at the moment. Neither team can lock down the other.
Melksham ran into a brick wall, gave it to Hooker. Crichton. I think that's nearly a mullet out there for Crichton.
That is a magnificent mullet, BT. I was waiting for you to pick it up.
That's the permed mullet. Boy, get a look at that later.
That's something out of Death Leopard about 1987, that one.
Watson, horrible. De Boer able to get hold of it, drive it forward for Freo. Pav 1-on-2 again. In fact, it was Clark off hands, looking for the easy one, Neil. Kept it alive. Clark now, centering ball. Myers has got to go. Mzungu was there, picked up by Mundy. Just wanted the right foot little banana and missed it.
Yeah, Jesse Crichton with one of the great mullets. I'm just looking up his background. He's from Tasmania, Richard, so that explains a little bit of it.
I've never seen a mullet-beard combination like that.
Unbelievable.
That needs some answering. There is Mundy. Head over the ball. Jesse Crichton, what are you thinking? De Boer tackled aggressively by Stanton. Good game this. Fantastic. Melksham. Hard as a cat's head, as Spud would say. Out wide, ball to Cramery. Hurt his finger, might have dislocated it. He's worried about it. I reckon he'll come straight off. He looks at his hand now. You can just see him at the bottom of the screen. In the meantime, McFarlane and Subin are away.
Geez, the speed of this game and the fierceness of the contest, it's something to behold. I hope the pitches back in your living room are giving the absolute benefit of what we're seeing here. Both sides are going super hard.
Yeah, spot on, Dusty. The first time for the night, Freo have been able to maintain possession with 2 or 3 marks in a row. They only had 4 marks. Now they're up to 7. That's just shows you the pressure Essendon are putting on them.
Kick back up into the Fremantle forward line. Watson. In there, couldn't get it out. A lot of players around the ball here at the moment. And Mundy, I think it was. No, it was Crichton, the mullet that was taken to the ground. I was just about to call him the rug. There's Silvani back in the side. Just his second game, I think, this year, Silvani.
Yeah, Freo, this is just get a little bit of structure about them at the moment. They haven't been able to get it on their terms at all.
Played round 9, Silvani. Emergency 5 times. Mzungu, Richo, here he is. Look at that for a great little grab.
That is
sensational stuff by my man, Crozier, from 55 metres out. Kicks long. Clark takes the mark and will line up for goal. Crozier doing great things.
I'll tell you what, BT, your man, if we get another look at his mark at some point, that was a strong and overhead mark with heaps of pressure on from behind that you'll see. That was great.
The boys say he can grate Parmesan cheese on his abs. He's so well tickled and treaded. So hard. They're like metal. Zach Clark comes in, kick on the way, has got it. Fremantle look damn good here.
Nice clunk there from Big Zach. And I like the idea of the big boys going down and playing on Dustin Fletcher.
Well, Zach Clark, he's really taking Dustin Fletcher right back to the goal line, and that's a great move because that doesn't allow Fletcher to intercept mark. We know he's so good at that.
Here's Zach Clark in the goal square, and we saw a couple of weeks ago Sydney played Mumford and they played the big Canadian Mike Pike deep in the goal square. I reckon Fletcher loves playing on smalls. Doesn't have to worry about them in the air. He's quick enough to go with the smalls, but the tools, he just has to pay that little bit more respect to. And they've had a little win so far for him out of the goal to Clark.
To remove the ball out of the middle through Myers. I agree with you, Das. Both teams really switched on here at the moment.
Boys, you touched on how quick the game is. Well, just to back that up, the interchange benches have just been revolving doors. People flying on and off the ground. A lot of people already getting work on their calves and getting massages. That's how fast it is.
Barlow to Mazungu. Barlow had 30 touches last week, back in form. Here's the win for Fletcher on this occasion against Clark. Kick a long time in the air, beautifully protected by Myers. Kept it away from Mundy. The umpire said he's on, so now it's a dead-on rip to win the ball. Not sure what that free was paid for by umpire Jordan Bannister. As Mundy goes in there looking for Clark. Ball knocked away at the back. Main gets a good look. Bent it a little too much. Almost a mark in the square there. In the end, tidying it up is Hibberd. And that one's out of bounds on the full, so the pressure will stay against the Bombers. Short ball and Barlow.
Oh, this is really good by the Dockers. They've absorbed that early pressure from the Bombers. They come out full of running. Just having a look here, the play on. Yeah, he did step. Gee, it was harsh, but
Tough, Richo.
yeah, might have taken one step off the line, but
Reckon he was
in it.
a bit disoriented then.
It's a bit like last night with Adam Goods.
Tough kick for Barlow. As Barlow comes in, that's damn well done. A little bit of left to right about it. 3 in a row for Freo. Nice goal from the boy out of Assumption College. Michael Barlow back in form, Das, now.
He's an easy player to admire, Michael Barlow, isn't he? I love the way he works so hard. Just continues to run at a better than even pace. Horrific broken leg that he suffered about 18 months ago. To come back at the shape he's in, it's been great. I'm a massive fan of this man, Michael Barlow. Beautiful kick. You know what I liked about it? He actually thought he could kick it, went back, didn't deviate from the action. Such an admirable player coming back from a horrific broken leg. Brilliant, brilliant effort there from Barlow.
Freo with the last 5 inside 50s in this game, dominating 3 goals from those 5 insides. McPhee to Barlow. Melksham there as well. Arriving first. Great handball, Broughton. Had to turn around Barlow. Kick inside, cut off. Fletcher.
Well, Freo just been a little bit harder in the last 5 minutes. They're winning the contested possessions, and it's just because they've got midfielders like Barlow, Mazungu, De Boer. They're all pretty honest players. You know what you're going to get from them. Crowley as well.
Myers through the middle of the ground, long ball, 2-on-1. Silvani getting back to help against Cranberry for McFarlane. It was really well done by Silvani. He'll be fighting for survival in this team. Hurley pursued by Johnson. Crunching tackle by Ibbotson, too high, I think. Might have got him over the shoulder, and he has.
Yeah, you can just see last effort there from Ibbotson, just slid over the shoulder. And Hurley's aggression there has drawn a fair bit of heat and earned himself a free kick.
To stop the run of 3 goals in a row for the Dockers, Hurley will have to kick his second and the Bombers 4th. To tie it up, cracking first quarter here at Patterson's. 20 metres out, the ball drop just needs to be good. It is very good, and the Bombers draw level.
Oh, it's a ripping game of footy we're watching here so far. Essendon came out of the blocks really hard, got away to a couple of goal lead. Freo then kicked the next 3, and a good steadier there from Michael Hurley. What I liked about that from Hurley was just his persistence to keep back at the football. If your key forwards are doing that, you know you're in for a pretty good night. And there's Jobe Watson talking to his young forward line.
Michael Hurley there, a couple of goals, both teams 3 straight from set shots here tonight in front of goal. So goal kicking from a set shot position has been perfection. Umpire Smith putting it on the turf in the middle. Clark hit it on the way down. Another clearance here going towards Pavlich. Pavlich gave it off. Here he is. My boy Crozier. Hayden, the cheese grater. Crozier kicks a long ball off the back. Main's going to run into an open goal. He's got it. Purple Haze are up and about. Main with his second goal of the first quarter.
I like Crozier, BT. You've caught him early.
The cheese grater.
As your man in only game number 3. He's got something about him that just makes you excited. Here he is. Up and under kick, but he's athletic. Look at the way he got straight back up, and Mundy played it really well. Would have been easy to fall over under the pressure from Hardingham. And this is a brilliant game. It's goal for goal. As we've pointed out, the intensity of it, great contest, and then brilliant individual efforts to go with it.
Just remind people, if you're wondering why we call him the cheese grater, reckons he's got the sharpest abs in the business, and they can peel Parmesan. Back in the middle of the ground. Hill, magnificent little tap. Hocking the clearance, goes to centre half forward. Gee, what a game. Goal for goal it is. Cracking contest. McPhee, vision to the wide ball of De Boer. Heppel. Mzungu helped smother off the ball, was great from Howlett. Eventually, a handball to the safety and sanctuary of the boundary.
Big night for both these two tonight. They've decided to go the hard tag. Ryan Crowley on Jobe Watson. I almost felt as though Watson's untaggable, how good he's been going. Crowley, for mine, is just about the best tagger in the business. He's already pushed himself forward, Jobe. He's playing centre forward at the moment. He's just had the 4 disposals. Can he get through the really hard tag tonight? It's going to be interesting.
Here is the ball magnet himself. Barlow just keeps getting it. Gave it to Pavlich. Look at the run outside. McPhee back inside to the big man. Little ball to Barlow is great play. Got to hand it to this guy. He just keeps on getting it.
Oh, he's a ripper. He's a hard worker. He's
good pass. Mark taken by Griffin.
He's had to work hard to play AFL footy, and he's not going to let his chance slip. I'll tell you what's happening at the moment. Matthew Pavlich at centre half forward. He is just leading up his opponents at the football. It's opening up space behind. It's got a good look about it, the Fremantle forward line, because of the work he's doing on the lead. Matthew Pavlich. Hardingham has just been switched to him. Hooker did start on him.
Just his 5th game this year. Pavlich going back on the line because he reckons this is going to be line ball. But Jonathan Griffin said, Pav, what are you doing, mate? I've got it covered easily.
He had it covered easily. Jonathan Griffin surprised me up here. The big ruckman from the Adelaide Crows. He just nailed it. Beautiful set shot kick. And he's going to play an important role with no Aaron Sandilands. I'll tell you what, if he can add that to his game, then he is a whole much more difficult player to match up on.
Well, there's Mzungu. He's got the job on Stanton. He's doing it really well. He's had the 5 possessions, but Stanton's only had the 1 kick so far, and this is a man who's leading the AFL for kicks. So Ross Lyon has set 2 hard tags in the midfield, and so far they're winning those battles.
Stanton. Watson outside. Melksham demanded the ball. Now what can he do with it? He goes long, looking for Hurley, and Silvani. He just looks a bit strong down there. May well play on the left boot here, Michael Hurley. Probably won't now that Subban's got that area covered.
I reckon that's almost a better option here, but it's a really tight drop punt. He kicked the last one nicely, but the Geelong players, there's no doubt, Stevie Johnson would start about a metre away from the mark, take 1 step, left foot snap. He's going to go the drop punt.
For his 3rd goal of the quarter, there's a great look at it. Just had to guide it down perfect. He's done it. Hurley's got 3 first quarter goals.
Well, that's a good option too, if you're good enough to slot him through like that. And kicking inaccuracy has been a big problem for the Bombers. They were 2-15 at 3/4 time in their last game against the Sydney Swans. So a 5-1 start. They've done a lot of work on it with the week off. Such a mental thing. Hurley said, this is my routine. I'm going to go back and kick it. Well done.
Yeah, great finish. That's what happens late in quarters. I reckon you start to take marks deep, contested marks deep, because early in the quarter, you do your work up the ground, you work over your opponent, they get tired, then you can drop back to the goal square and take contested marks, and that's what Hurley's been able to do in this first quarter.
His best result in terms of goals for the year already, Hurley, and we're only 29 minutes into this first quarter. Out of the middle, Watson, the extractor, did it well. The run of Dempsey, impressive. Longy's handball. An opportunity for Reimers. Reimers' short kick, punched away from De Olio, picked up by Hurley. De Boer's got him, not before he got it to Jeddah. Gee, I reckon that mark was almost payable. Dempsey, a great tackle in the end, retrieves the ball for the Bombers.
Straight to him. Thank you.
Dempsey around the back will give it to Stanton. He was running onto the wrong side, though. Had to go wide with the ball and found De Olio.
Well done by Dempsey, though, to get Stanton into the game. Gave him the opportunity to get a kick. He's only had, just talked about him, that's his second disposal now.
De Olio, in just his third game of footy. From the boundary line, it will be about 10 metres inside it by the time he lets go of it. To get the scores all tied up in a fascinating first quarter of football. Across the face, McFarlane's got to go, and he did in game 200 for him.
Well, he's come into this game tonight. Ross Lyon coaching the Fremantle Dockers, you would never have predicted an 11-goal first quarter. You'd almost predict an 11-goal entire game with him coaching.
So what's going on, Lingy? Why are we all of a sudden seeing this?
I think maybe everybody's prepared for Fremantle playing that way, and maybe they've thought, well, let's change things up. Let's try and catch Essendon on the hop and try something a little bit different. But it's a cracking game of footy to watch. I'm enjoying it. I prefer it played this way, to be honest.
Absolutely. It's very entertaining stuff. There is Ross Lyon. Just under half a minute to go. Barlow in there. De Boer around the corner. Through the hands of Carlisle. Hooker now. Tackled by Clark. Jakey Carlisle gives it off. Melcham and Carlisle both played at the Calder Cannons together. Handball comes back through the hands of Melcham. Hooker got belted as he kicked the ball, and now Mundy will be happy for the boundary line here. Doesn't find either. Got to go. Bombers have got some numbers around this contest. Fierce attack on the ball. Siren sounds. What a great quarter of football. Fremantle kicked 6 goals in it to lead it by 5 points, and the Bombers kicked 5 goals. Pavlich was dynamic. Hurley was great at the other end, and it was just an absolute feast of highlights. Stay with us, because on the other side of the break, this ferocity from both of these teams will continue. It's Fremantle at quarter time by 5 points.